Welcome to the fourth episode of For the People podcast. We cannot wait to present to you one of my greatest friends in the world was in my wedding. One of my greatest friends in the world and one of the greatest human beings to ever live. His name is Spencer Levin. He is on live with us tonight on For the People podcast. I've got my good friend JJ Colleen here as well. We are your hosts for 1 hour of For the People podcast. Thank you for joining us. We will start it right off. We've got questions for Spencer Levin all night long, but this one comes from John Pratt. Spencer, what is the most nervous you've ever been playing a round of golf?
Buddy, sorry, can I say something before I answer that question real quick?
Mm-hmm.
That's by far the greatest introduction I've ever got, times a million. And I will never sniff getting one like that ever again. So I just say thank you, and that's gonna be if I'm ever feeling shitty, I'll remember that little introduction by Pete right there, buddy. That was beautiful. Thank you.
All right, well, what's the most nervous you've ever been playing a round of golf? John Pratt wants to know. The people want to know.
You know what, dude? I'd have to probably some type of cue round. I'm sure back in the day. I remember. Back in the, like, before I had any type of tour status or web status coming out of college, I remember second stage, I was pretty nervous because remember you got to get through second stage to get any status. And I remember playing the Ombre which was a course in Panama City, Florida. And it was kind of a nervy course, like real tight OB everywhere. And I remember like on the second hole, we're waiting to hit our approach shots. And I went over in the woods and I puked a little bit. So only time I've ever thrown up in the middle of a round of golf ever. So that would have to probably be number one right there, I would think.
That's Spence, dude. That's a hell of a story, bro, because not a lot of people know, like, when you're just turning pro or whatever, you know, first of all, Q school is important. Everybody knows this shit. Q school is important. Right. But like first stage, you're expected to get through. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Second stage, you're nervous as shit because if you get through second stage, like, you feel like validated as a professional golfer. I'm either on Nationwide Corn Ferry Tour, Buy.com, whatever it's called at the time, or potentially
100.
have a chance to get my PGA Tour card. It's a big fucking deal, right? So You're sitting there and you're nervous as shit because you feel like a man. Like, you feel like, dude, if I get through second, that's massive. So you throwing up in the woods, it's a legendary story, and I love you even more for telling that.
Thanks, bro. Yeah. As a pro, you know that. I mean, it's the big. And then once you get to finals, you feel a little more at ease because at least you know you got somewhere to play, right? That second stage is the big one, really. So, for sure.
No, that's right, dude. You get to final stage, and people are like, "Man, you're at final stage. You have a chance to get your PGA Tour card." But a lot of these like rookies or young kids are like, "Shit, dude, I'm so excited that I at least potentially have a place to play, even if I have to Monday in, but I have status and can like get in the rest of the year." That's a big deal. So like second stage is the most nerve-wracking part of Q school by far.
For sure. I agree 100%. It was for me. That's for damn sure. There's no question about it.
Well, shit, bro, you threw up in the woods. So for sure it was, homie.
Yeah, I threw up in the woods, dude.
So we've got a puker. We've got a puker in the woods here. We've got a guy and myself. I've never made it past second stage of Q school.
What?
Really?
Not many people know that. I failed at first stage, and then I failed at second stage the next year. I've never made it past second stage. Never made it past. I hit it out of bounds in second stage of Q school on the 18th hole. Caught a flyer from the rough at the Ombre in Panama City.
Sure.
Hit it out of bounds in the parking lot, past the green. I don't know if y'all remember the 18th hole there.
I do.
So I was in the right rough, just short of the bunker, hit it out of bounds in the parking lot.
So you got to carry it. You got to make sure you have enough to carry, right?
Yeah. So I hit it out of bounds long, caught a flyer, missed by 2, made double bogey on the last hole to miss at second stage. But I ended up local qualifying and then sectional qualifying for the U.S. Open the next year and got finished fourth and got web tour status that way. That was the only way I ever got status. It wasn't through Q school. So throwing up in the damn Q school, I understand. You know, I get it. That's the kind of shit that happens at Q school. But Ricky Hansen, I don't know who Ricky Hansen is, but on Twitter, he wants to know what your biggest regret so far in your professional golf career has been, Steen.
Oh man, that's it's funny, dude, because like, it's not about. I mean, we all regret if you have a bad round. I guess that doesn't count as a regret. So I don't know, dude. That's a good question. I'd have to think about that a little bit. I mean, shit, dude.
That's why I sent him to you earlier.
I know. Well, see, like earlier, it was a screenshot on my phone, but then I didn't even look at him. I text you back. I'm like, hey, bro, I want to do it. I want to do it. Just like that. I don't want to study it. I want to see. If I just want to do it. Spontaneously, bro. So anyway, that's a hard question. Dude, I have to come up with an answer. Man, I don't know, bro. I really don't have an answer. Maybe this is gonna. Okay, I know. I don't know if he's listening. If he does ever hear this, my boy Rocco Mediate. He's my boy, right? So Rocco, please don't take this the wrong way. I love you, dude. You're the man. But this is actually a pretty good story. So when I was gonna play, you know how at New Orleans it's the 2-man deal, right? Nowadays you have a partner and stuff. So last year I had my card a few years ago. I was supposed to play with Alex Chaka. Alex Chaka asked me to play months before the tournament. Anyway, coming up to the tournament, I was in a slump, hadn't made a cut in a while. I was playing kind of shitty. Less than 2 weeks before that tournament, I get a text message from Alex Chaka saying, hey, I picked a new partner. And this guy asked me to play. I literally thought he was joking, dude. I go, ha, yeah, bro, what's going on? Da-da-da. He's like, no, I have a new partner. You need to pick a different guy, okay? And I'm tripping out, dude. I'm calling everybody, dude. Everybody's already got a partner. Everybody's already playing with somebody. I think you were already playing with somebody. Everybody I knew, all my friends were already playing with people, which naturally they would be 2 weeks before the tournament. So I literally don't have anybody to play with. And my dad is actually in Scottsdale at the time hanging out, and he runs into Rocco Mediate at a restaurant. And Rocco said, sure, I'll play with him, of course, which was great. We didn't play good, and Rocco's a great golfer. But here's the story. I didn't know at the time, this was Xander Schauffele's rookie year, dude. And I didn't know who he was, bro. He's a young kid, and I don't even know if he got really any starts yet in the year. I hadn't heard of him, didn't know who he was. My agent gives me a list of guys I could have called to play with. Xander would have played with me. I had no idea who the guy was. Plus, I mean, dude, he's a rookie. He hadn't seen anything. So I'm like, I don't want to pick some guy I don't know. I don't know if these guys are any good. So sure enough, dude, I pass up on Xander Schauffele, who wins the freaking tour championship that year. That could have been my partner hitting it about 350 down the middle every hole. I could have been playing off those drives all week. So I think that is sure enough my biggest regret. Rocco, I love you, dog. If you hear this, bro, there's no hard feelings, but I know Rocco's smiling about this. But having said that, I had a freaking great time. We missed the cut, but Rocco's the man. We had a great time that week. So I guess it's not a regret because we had a hell of fun. But anyway, in terms of golf business standpoint, if you're, a guy like Xander Schauffele, anyway, you get my point. Rocco, I still love you, bro. I hope you don't hate me now.
Hey, Steen, you know what Rocco would have said? He would have gone, I would have sure as shit rather played with Xander than Spencer also.
I'm like, Rocco, you want to play from 280 down the middle or 340 down the middle? That too. So yeah,
that's fucking awesome, man. Hey, so we got all these questions from the people. So Spence, listen to this, dog. There's like, Chupacabra is like this imaginary figure, right? No one's heard of a Chupacabra, no one's seen it. So we've got Anthony Kim, we've got Tiger Woods, who never goes on pods, and then we've got the absolute GOAT, Spencer Levin, on here for the people. So like, dude, you're a legend. People love you, man. I don't know if you know this. Do you know how much love that you have out in the social media environment? You're a little bit like of a ghost under the radar, but people fucking love you, dude. What do you have to say to the people, man?
Thank you, people. I appreciate that, everybody. Dude, that makes me feel good. You saying that? I'm not a social media guy, but the fact that people like me, bro, it makes me feel good. Thank you. Thanks to all my fans out there.
Hell yeah, dude. People are cheering for you. We've known you a long time, dude, through the PGA Tour, Korn Ferry Tour, college, whatever it is. But it's just, it's awesome. It's people, you're just a good dude and people like watching you. But I'm going to tell you this. Petey's got a shitload of questions for us. We had to just like filter out a bunch. But I don't know if you remember this. I'm sure you do, Spence. But in Malaysia, our boy here, in the middle of the screen on our little meeting situation, did the Happy Gilmore off the first tee, right?
I've heard. And he shot 66 that day.
Yeah, well, even better than that. Today, Spence, is the 25th anniversary of Happy Gilmore coming out. What do you have to say to our boy for, first of all, having the nutsack to pull that off, and second of all, just about Happy Gilmore in general?
Dude, that's awesome. I remember when Pete did that, dude. It was the final round. I think we hung out that night too. But yeah, I remember him doing that. He told me about it, and I want to say he rinsed it on the first hole with the Happy Gilmore, and then went on to shoot 66. That sounds like Pete in a nutshell's golf right there, all in one. So that's awesome, and that's definitely a Pete story. Not surprised he did it, and that's a big movie for us, dude. A guys our age, you know, growing up watching Happy Gilmore, everybody knows Happy Gilmore. I mean, that was like a big deal as a kid growing up, wasn't it? I mean,
Price is wrong, bitch. Price is wrong, bitch. Price is wrong.
All right, Steen.
No, Petey. No, Petey. Set us up. What the hell happened? Why did that shot happen?
Have we covered this for the people?
This is for the people. Set up the Happy. You're the only guy to have the ball sack to pull that off in a PGA Tour event. Set it up for the people.
You want to see my sack? All right.
That's not big. You got 3 testicles. It's weird, but let's go.
So this is what happened. Brendan Todd pulled out of the golf tournament. I was first alternate. Nobody had pulled out yet. This would have been fall of 15. I had signed up for the CIMB Classic in Malaysia. It's a no-cut event, so obviously you're going over there. The worst you're going to do if you finish last place is make $15,000. They pay for everything, right? So they pay for your caddy's flight, they pay for your flight. You just go over there and you make 15 grand if you shoot 100, 100, 100, 100.
And stay at the West End, member on them too, all that.
All that. So I am sitting there at my house in Fort Worth, Texas, where it's negative 5 million right now. And I'm scrolling through my phone. I get an email from the tour that says, hey, Brendan Todd just pulled out. You're in. It's Tuesday morning. That is a 16-hour trip over there to Kuala Lumpur. Right? It's the other side of the world. And that's 16 hours as if I get on a plane in 3 hours and go. So that's what I did. I got on a plane in 3 hours and I went. And I got there on Wednesday night of the tournament. No practice round, nothing. Shoot 84 the first day. Okay, I'm in last by like 9. Everybody's been there since Monday, right? I'm in last by 1 million.
And the jet lag. So you're flipped around too, obviously.
Dude, I am so out of sorts at this point. So I'm like 84 to start a PGA Tour round. Right, I'm going to get half a FedEx Cup point if I just limp home. Like, it's not going to matter. So I just say to hell with it. I'm going to start drinking every day. So I just started drinking every day during this tournament. Went and bought fake watches at Chinatown. You've been there, Steen.
Yeah.
You go to Chinatown, you start buying the fake watches. I bought like 6 fake Rolexes, gave one to Amanda. She thought it was real. It was amazing. So I kept going. And it just, Saturday, I got better every day. I shot like 84, 77, 72. And I'm in last by 1 million. Like at least 17 shots I'm in last place by. The final day I'm paired with a club pro at Malaysia Country Club or whatever the hell it's called. And another guy named what the hell was his name? He played golf at Tulsa. He ended up passing away a few years ago. It was actually pretty sad. But paired with him too, and we were last off 10. And the Malaysians, like Steen, you'll attest to this. They show up for this tournament. This is a big deal. For the Malaysians. Like they sit there and they pray. They do the Muslim prayer at like noon every day. Everybody stops and like does the Islamic deal. But they show up for this tournament. So there was a bunch of people around the 10th tee box. I don't know if they thought it was number 1 or if they thought it was 10. But I was on 10 and I was last. So I was in last place. And I'm walking to the tee and I see Drew Steckel. You know Drew Steckel. And I'm like, Drew Steckel is he was Pat Perez's coach at the time. He coaches a bunch of tour players. I'm like, Drew, record this. I'm going to Happy Gilmore this shit off the first tee. And he goes, no chance you are. I go, by God, you watch me. And so the other guy hit first. I don't remember his name. God, he was the club pro. He was beating me too, but he hit first. And then so I'm up next, and they say from USA, John Peterson, and so I give him a little wave, and I'm back on the back of the tee box. I just walk up to it and hit it. And all of these Asians around the tee box are like, whoa! Like they don't know what to do. It was amazing. And I hit a great shot. I squared it up. It just one hopped into the soup and dropped. Ended up making par, shooting 66. And then I land. So we left right after Justin Thomas. That was Justin Thomas's first win that week, and me and Colt Knost were the first two to greet him when he came off the green because he didn't have family there or anything. We greeted him. We said, congratulations, Justin. Great job. And then we all left. Like I think Steen was on my flight. We all flew to Abu Dhabi. That was the halfway point. And then I landed in Abu Dhabi and I turned my phone on and I had like 100 text messages, emails, and missed calls. Half of them were from the tour. They wanted to find me for Happy Gilmore and it off a tee. Blah, blah, blah. Like the fun police was out in full force. It was just a tragic situation because, who wants to cancel fun? But the PGA Tour. PGA Tour wants to cancel fun. I'm not for it. What do you think, Steen?
I mean, I don't know how you're going to get in trouble for hitting a shot the way you want to hit it. I mean, it's like, where are they going to fine you if you hook one too? I don't get it. You know what I mean? It don't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, dude, you hit one in the goddamn lake. $50,000 fine. That's a hell of a fine for hitting one in the lake, right? I mean, dude, at the end of the day, all you can do is it's for the people. You're the last group off a split tee horseshoe on number 10, and you do a Happy Gilmore, and you make a couple Malaysians go crazy. What the hell's wrong with that? That sounds like a hell of a deal.
Yeah. And say you hit the fairway, are you going to get fined for hitting the fairway? Like, I don't get it. Like, if you
exactly.
Hit the fairway, so it doesn't make any. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
you get it, Spence. You beyond get it, Spence. God dang, that's why people love you, dude.
Yeah, thanks, dude. I get it.
All right, so this is a podcast for the people, right? We are here for you. We have the people's guest, Spencer Levin, on the pod today, and by God, I hope he comes back because we need more hours with him. We will not have many guests because we don't believe in having major winners and all these fancy schmancy Lamborghini drivers on the pod. We want people for the people. Spencer Levin is our guy. Clark Mitzner wants to know how many cigs was the most cigs you ever burned in a round?
Dude, that's a good question. I don't know, man. I obviously I didn't count them, but I'm sure it was, it was probably one a hole if I'm nervous, dude. Anyway, maybe par 5, maybe a couple sometimes. So it was a lot day, dude. I mean, I don't smoke anymore, but I mean, it was kind of depending on the round and depending where I'm at. But I'm sure, like, nervous ones, if I was playing well coming down the stretch or something, I bet it was probably one a hole anyway, I would say. So yeah, probably. Yeah, a pack probably during a round, I would say.
So what was the algorithm to you in your brain where you were like, I need another one?
That's a good. Well, I think I think most smokers would tell you if you eat something after you eat, you want a cigarette. Let's see. If I made a bogey, if you're pissed off, you want a cigarette. So it was more just kind of if I felt like I was pissed off or after food or nervous. You're playing good, so. There'd be times maybe it was less than others, but I definitely always had an extra pack in the bag, of course. And just like guys do a dip, right? I guess it'd be the same thing. But yeah, I mean, that was back when I was smoking, pack and a half a day. It was, if guys were dipping, I'd throw in a lip or two with my cigarette. I mean, I'd bum them off. I never really bought cans of dip, but I would bum a dip from guys. So I'd have a dip going and a cigarette going sometimes. Yeah.
So what about like the final round of Phoenix in 2012? How many cigarettes / tobacco / nicotine / whatever was consumed there?
Dude, it's so fun. Obviously not enough cigarettes, I guess. Either not enough or too many, I don't know. But like a day, I guess it's hard to say, bro. I mean, it's not. Like I said, you're not really counting them, but I'm sure it was, if I felt nervous, it was probably more. So I'm sure it was just as many in a round like that as any. It's kind of a crutch if things aren't going well kind of a thing. It was for me. So when I quit smoking, it was it was kind of tough at first, but I don't really think about it anymore, to be honest with you. But at first it was tough. Sure.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing that most people don't understand on social media. That Steen hadn't smoked in what, 7 years, 8 years?
Yep, exactly, bro. I still remember the date. It was September 5th, 2012, dude.
Yeah. And that's what I was talking to Colleen about earlier. I was like, dude, I know Steen hadn't smoked in at least 7 or 8 years. It's been a long time.
No nicotine, bro. No dip, no nothing. No nicotine for which is about 8, 9 years now. So yeah, it's crazy. So.
And that's impressive. That to me is impressive because it's so hard to quit that stuff. But a lot of your notoriety has come from when you were chiefing cigs, walking down the fairway, acting like you got the biggest balls in the world. And that's what people want to hear about. They want to hear about that time in the U.S. Open when you're an amateur chiefing cigs, beating Phil Mickelson. Like, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I mean let's see. I was about 19, maybe I was 19 years old or something. That's so long ago, dude. That's like half a lifetime ago now, bro. It's insane.
I hear you. Tell us about it though.
I just all of a sudden, dude, it was like, I don't know. You get to the U.S. Open. I had a good first round. Well, dude, you almost won the U.S. Open yourself. So, but it was weird. It was like a week before, I was just, I was a good college player, All-American. Then you get to the U.S. Open. Then all of a sudden, it's by far the biggest tournament you ever played in. Then all of a sudden, through like 27 holes, my name's on the leaderboard, one back, and it's like, what's going on right now, dude? It's like you're just playing your game, whatever. And then all of a sudden, so it was, I don't know. It was just I wasn't doing anything different than I'd been doing. I just didn't have to hide the cigarettes because I was playing in a pro tournament instead of college tournament hiding in the porta john. But, so it was just that was the only difference where I didn't have to worry about getting in trouble doing it. But yeah, it was just. The people remember me because you're playing well. And if you're playing well, they're going to show you a little bit. And then, obviously, if you're showing me, I was smoking cigarettes at the time. So, and it's rare you don't see it, And I feel like they try to hide. I mean, I don't think any of these young guys smoke at all anymore. Nobody does anything like that anymore. But I mean, even guys like Daly or guys who did smoke, I feel like they would try to hide it or do it the best they can. But anyway, I just I remember seeing like the highlights. Like my buddy taped the Open. I get home showing the highlights, and half of it was me smoking more than hitting my shots, which was kind of people got to know me who didn't know me at the time. Yeah, that was kind of funny, bro. But yeah, anyway, dude, it was nothing different than I normally do. It was just, but like you said, and I'm sure you felt the same way at Olympic, right? Like you're just playing your normal game, then all of a sudden you make a hole in one. The third round with David Toms? You're like, what the hell's going on? So.
No, dude, that's what I was going to say, Spence and Petey, really, like both, like I mean, as someone who has not almost won the goddamn U.S. Open on this podcast, I will say this. Both of you guys had almost won the U.S. Open, had legendary hole-in-ones. Like, just tell the people about your freaking hole-in-ones. Spence, obviously, you were at Shinnecock. Petey, you were at Olympic. Like, what was the feeling of making a hole-in-one in the U.S. Open?
That was the first one I ever had, dude, ever. Like,
wow.
Practice round at home, literally my first one I've ever had. So, it was like a freaking shock, man. It was a blind shot, dude, on 17. It went in, and like I didn't even know what to do, dude. I just can't really describe it. It was just like, I don't know. You never had one, then you have one. This U.S. Open, it was like too much to comprehend, bro. I was like losing my mind a little bit. So, yeah. Anyway, it was. I'll never forget it. It was insane, dude. It was, super. I mean, it's like it's one of the greatest moments of my life, dude. How about you, Pete? Go ahead.
Hey, Steen, was it full popped collar visor season back then?
Yeah. Yes, it was. That's exactly back then. Like 19 old. Yeah.
That's my dog. That's my dog right there.
Like AJ, like a bunch of times when he was at TCU too that year. We played against him all the time when I was in New Mexico. So yeah.
I did pop collar season. I wasn't as legendary as you, Spence. Like you were legendary. Like my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, like if New Mexico was at the tournament, I told her not to come because I didn't want her to see you play because I thought that it might ruin my chances of furthering my relationship. But god dang, the pop collar, the reason why I rocked the pop collar and shit, I should bring it back because that's why I played well was because of you. Smoking a skig, pop collar, visor. God dang, it was hard not to fall in love with you.
I don't know. Now I'm wearing a hat, no pop collar. Like, what am I? Come on, man. You're right.
Oh, yeah. Well,
That's the answer right there. All the putts are going to go in if you do that, right?
That's it, man.
Well,
That's it, bro.
I guess I'll tell you about mine. I mean, I think we've done it on the pod before, but it's 2012. The Olympic Club in San Francisco, California. I was broke. I was dead broke. I literally could not pay my rent in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in my apartment. And we go and we check into this Holiday Inn Express. I end up selling half of my tickets that we were allotted for the U.S. Open to regular people on eBay and meeting them in the lobby to sell them because I was so
That's
poor.
crazy.
So no, I had no status.
That's awesome.
No status anywhere in the country, no status on any tour. So I sold half my tickets. The only tickets I kept were tickets to keep my parents and my caddy and his parents on the grounds. So we go into the weekend. I was in the second to last group on Saturday. No status. No one's ever heard of me before. I'm sure Steen was like, who the hell is this guy? And I'm sure JJ was too at that point. And I get to number 13 at Olympic Club, and I'm about 4 or 5 back. I hit a shot with a 7-iron to 180 yards, and I make it. And that was my first hole-in-one as well. Like, I had never made one before in my life. So I go, we have that in common. I didn't know that. And I've known you forever, Steen. I didn't know that both of our hole-in-ones were our first hole-in-ones at the U.S. Open. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
So I've got the flag. I've got the USGA sent me the flag. I don't know if they probably did for you too, but I mean that's something that I will never forget. It was the third round of the U.S. Open, playing with my idol David Toms. He played at LSU, won 13 or 14 times as a major champion. But I ended up finishing 4th and getting status on the Web.com tour the next year. That was the only way I got status because, as I mentioned earlier, I sucked at Q school. I was terrible at it, but. That's something that we share, and I didn't know that about you, Steen. I didn't know that was your first hole-in-one ever.
That was your first one ever either, bro. I didn't know that. I wonder how those guys who have one, I don't know how many there's been, like 30-something. Remember we were talking about that one time? I wonder how many guys that it was their first one. I'll bet you not many. I'll bet there's probably can't be too many more than me and you, I wouldn't think, right?
No, I wouldn't think either. I remember Sean Stefani made one the next year at Marion.
Yep.
He made one on that bullshit hole. It was like 17. I was right behind him. I remember I was the group behind him. Yeah, it was 17. They had a massive grandstand. I mean, this thing was 100 yards long on the left side of the hole. Yeah. And he made one, landed in the left rough, and he made it. I don't know if that was his first one or not, but there can't be that many people in that club.
Dude, I'll tell you this, Petey and Spence. So I've had 9 hole-in-ones before, and I am the shittiest ball striker in the history of professional golf. So the fact that you guys, first hole-in-ones, both of you guys, was in the U.S. Open gives the people hope. So all you guys have to do that have never made a hole-in-one is just play in the U.S. Open. You guys play in the U.S. Open, and you guys can make a hole-in-one. It's the easiest shit in the world. So that should make you feel better when you put your head on your pillow tonight. You qualify for that U.S. Open, you're going to make an ace. Good luck. Godspeed.
That's it. That's the move. I love it.
I'll be damned. All right, so we have a shitload of questions here for the people. The people have been really excited about having Steen on the pod this week. Are you going to make the visor relevant again? Say hey T. Ask that question.
You know what? If you want, I'm going to bring it back. I just tell them I got to play well. If I can play well and then get on TV, then I'll rock the visor. But you know what? I probably got to rock the visor to play well. So maybe it's like a combo thing. So I'll wear it until I play well, then I'll keep wearing it. So tell them I hope so. If I can play well and make some putts, then yeah, the visor might be relevant. Nobody's wearing the visor hardly these days, dude.
That would turn me on so much too. Like to see you in a visor. Like I don't know. It's a similar like. My girlfriend at the time, who I didn't want to watch you play in college because I knew what would happen. Now my wife at the time to see you in a visor, I don't know what happened. Petey, Amanda, I know you guys have had 3 kids, but she definitely doesn't need to see Steen in a visor because there might be a situation brewing there as well.
No, I really,
Goodness,
Colleen, I really think we just need to keep you from Steen.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I mean,
apparently I need to wear a visor. That's my problem.
I mean, here's my whole deal on the visor, and I'm an expert in all things, genius actually, according to multiple people. You have to have the hair. You have to have the hair to rock a visor. Like me, like my hair, like I have this blonde thinning hair. I'm at the point in my life where I need to get like swole, like potentially steroids and testosterone swole, grow a hard beard and just shave my head to be relevant. Like I'm at that age in my life. But if I had like a fat, thick head of hair, I could rock a visor, but I'm at a different wavelength. Like, what do you guys, when can you wear a visor? Like, how can you potentially pull it off, especially on the PGA Tour where we don't really see it that much anymore?
That's a good question. Pete, go ahead. You go first.
Well, yeah, as somebody that rocked a visor for the majority of their time on the PGA Tour, I can tell you that you have to have a big head. You have to have a big head. It's like I wear a 7 5/8 in a fitted hat. That's huge. That's
it's like a syndrome,
right? So you have to be able to pull this sucker down, like pretty much right by your eyebrows, and then even if you're losing hair and you don't have much to deal with up there, nobody can tell because your head's so big. So that's a big part of wearing a visor.
C-section baby season for you, Petey.
Right. I was sunny side up. Sunny side up. That's probably that maybe explains a lot there, but maybe Steen can enlighten everybody on why actually, that's my stupid philosophy of why everybody needs to wear a visor.
Dude, that's as good as any other one, bro. I think yeah, that's true, but I mean it's hard if you're losing a little hair up top, it's going to be hard to rock the visor, right? I mean, I just don't see guys. I feel like if a dude's losing his hair a little bit, it's going to be hard to pull the trigger on that one. I think it's
sunburn season.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's not exactly. So I think probably rule number one would be like you got to have a little hair up top to rock it. I would say. Then from there, maybe the head size, like Pete said. So
yeah. How many? All right, Steen. I got a question for you. This is off the top of the head here. How many times did we visit a Hooters bar when we stayed together on the PGA Tour?
I don't know, dude. We should have talked to him in each town, and we could have got a logo on our shirt, dude. I think. Yes, we weren't afraid to wear that out. If we were staying in a hotel, we were always staying in a hotel near each other, and you see one down the street, we're like, oh, we know where we're going tonight. So I would say I don't know the exact answer, but the answer would be a lot. I would say a lot.
All right, here we go. We're going to go to the next one. This is from this is right up the street. We're going to ask a question from Stephen Polanski, Fort Worth, Texas.
Pollock season.
So, what do you make of the Kiradech Barn Rat vaping skills? Have you seen that?
Dude, I got no. I don't have an opinion, bro. I've never seen it. I've never tell him I'm sorry. No.
I knew that was going to happen. God, I knew that was going to happen, JJ.
Has he got the rings going? Does he got all that type of action going on, or what?
See, Steen has no social media. Like he's just totally unplugged from the world. Like
Steen, let me put it like this. It's like if you've ever been to a Vegas show. I don't know if you have because you're the GOAT. You don't need to go to that crap. But imagine like this smoke coming out, and then like a goddamn magic show with people doing backflips and popping out of a magic show through a smoke cloud. That's Kiradech with his vape pen, essentially. We're talking like you can't even see the green. Kiradech is he's puffing his vape pen, and you don't even know what's happening. Like it's like a cloud of smoke for 100 yards.
Oh, so you're just talking about the size of the hit he takes.
The size of the hit, yeah.
I got you. So, okay. Yeah, I haven't seen it, dude. I'm sure if I Google it, I could find it, right?
Dude, it's like...
You know how to do that?
It's like full donut. Like this thing's full donut season. I mean, we're talking like something a diesel truck would push out 6 feet wide.
That's pretty impressive.
Hey, the reason why we're not deleting this is Steen doesn't even think that Kiradech's vape pen is worth a shit for him to even Google, and he doesn't even know about it. So that's for the people in general. That's what lets us know what kind of goat he is. So just deal with that, basically.
I played with Kiradech one time in that Malaysia tournament Pete was talking about earlier, and the first time I played him, I didn't know who he was. This was years ago. And some
fat guy.
Like, I didn't know he had a different name, but I remember about 10, 11, 12 holes into it, I was like, damn, this guy's good. And then sure enough, he's, world-class player. So
he's like, some Malaysian club pros playing this goddamn tournament. Like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, the funky swing, pass parallel, all that stuff. And then you're thinking, okay. And then all of a sudden, 12 holes, he hadn't missed a shot. And then I was like, damn, he's like 500. And then sure enough, a couple years later, he's like freaking top whatever in the world. So there you go.
There you go, homie.
So you just thought he was some fat guy that hadn't missed a Chinese buffet in 5 years.
Yeah, and then you had the funky swing, and all that. And then I was like, this guy's a good golfer. And then sure, there you go. There you go.
All right. Yeah. Hey, Steen, you're about this guy's age, okay? And we all know this guy. We have been around this guy, but he's vanished in the past few years, and nobody can locate him and have any idea where he is. Wow. Where the hell is Anthony Kim? When's the last time you saw him? What do you think he's doing with his life?
So wait, nobody, he's not on social media or anything? Like, nobody knows where he is?
No.
That's super weird, dude.
When's the last time you saw him? Have you played with him?
Yeah, dude, me and Anthony used to be friends, bro. We were boys, playing junior golf and stuff. We were partners in the Cannon Cup, all that. He was a friend of mine. Dude, I haven't seen him since, I would say, right before he got hurt on tour, maybe my third or fourth year on tour, and that was kind of on his way out because he was already killing it on tour before I got my card, in the mid 2000s, I want to say. And then so whenever that was, dude, whenever he quit when he got hurt was what, maybe 11, 12, something like that, maybe a little before, yeah, somewhere in that ballpark. Anyway, that was the last time I saw him, dude. I never saw him outside of a golf tournament after that anywhere. All I heard after that was that he grew his hair out real long and he wasn't playing golf anymore. That's literally all I heard. I tried his old phone number. His phone number didn't work anymore, just randomly. So I don't know, dude. It was super weird. But me and Anthony, when we were 17, 18 years old, we were close, dude. We were boys. And then, even whenever I saw him when I got my card, we were boys too. So Anthony was always a friend of mine. It's just, now that I think about it, I can't, it was sometime, right when he quit golf basically. And I guess he took it. Remember, he got some good deal. Remember with Nike, right? It was he could take the money, $10 million if he didn't want to play golf anymore, which I think anybody in their right mind would probably do. And I don't blame him for doing that. So, especially if you just got hurt, right? But I don't know, dude. That's a great question, bro. I don't know. I hope he's doing all right. I always liked Anthony, dude. He was always a friend of mine. So I hope he's doing all right wherever he is. So why? What have you guys heard? Anything?
Well, all I know is if we can bring Anthony Kim out of the grave or woodworks or wherever he is, if anybody could do it, it's you, Spence, because everybody loves you, buddy. But everybody loves AK was awesome too. He's about my age, Spence. You, me, we're a little bit older than Petey, right? Petey's a little bit younger, but when you were at New Mexico, I was at TCU, AK was at Oklahoma. We saw him every other tournament, right?
Yep.
So exactly. I think we can bring AK back. And Petey and I made a promise to ourselves because first of all, we love ourselves more than anyone. We love you too, Spence. But we're only going to have guests on if it's legendary. We're not just going to try to force someone on.
Thank you.
So if the top three humans on the planet, Anthony Kim, Spencer Levin, and Tiger Woods wanted to come on the pod, that's fine. Anybody else, you can eat shit because you're not coming on this thing. But there's only 2 more guests that are allowed on this pod. If the president of the United States wants to come on, that's fine. He can force his way on here, but that's it. But dude, I don't know. I think AK has become this hidden legend. He was good when he was young, so young. He whipped Sergio's ass in the Ryder Cup. Right. He won a couple tour events. He was top 10 in the world early. And then all of a sudden, I think 2012 or so, I played with him on the PGA Tour, and he's like, dude, my back hurts or whatever it was. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. That sucks. People get hurt, blah, blah, blah. And he just never came back. He's like, my back, I'm done. I'm straight up just fucking done. So that's he's it's like an enigma, man. No one really knows what happened, but he's obviously some insurance play, not a play. He was straight up hurt. he took the insurance money, hasn't come back. But dude, I'd love to see him. Hope to see him play again. I mean, it's an awesome dude.
Yeah, for sure, dude. And it's kind of funny you say that because it's like usually you hear a guy say that if they're not having a good round, their back hurts, whatever. Especially like a good player like that, you're thinking, oh well, he might win in 2 weeks or whatever. You know, he's probably just saying that. But it's kind of weird that when somebody says that and then they actually go through with what they said, and he's like, never see him again. That's just very, very strange. But obviously, that $10 million reason is a great reason. But yeah, that's just random. One day he says his back hurts and he doesn't want to play anymore, and he doesn't. That's pretty strange, man. I don't know. But he was such a good player, man. He really was. He was always, you could just tell he was going to be great. Even in junior golf, you knew he was going to be a good player just because he played with a lot of confidence. He was cocky, and he had the game to back it up. And when you see a guy like that, any type of success they have isn't a surprise. You know what I mean? So I anything he would have done in golf, which, I mean, he played at the highest level, obviously, like you said. But, yeah, anything he did wasn't a surprise to me after growing up playing with him, that's for sure.
So he had great teeth. Steen. He had great teeth, too. If you have great teeth, you have a chance of being nails, bro.
That's right. That's my only chance at this point.
This episode of For the People is brought to you by Texas Title, your DFW-based title insurance company. Close your next home, purchase or refinance with Texas Title, www.texastitle.com, #a place to call home.
So, Steen, do you have any stories from AK that you would like to share?
Yeah, I got a great AK story, actually.
Send it. Let's send it.
And Kiz is involved in this story. Kisner's involved. And Kiz will tell you the same story, too. Every time I see Kiz, we talk about this all the time. But it was did you play the Cannon Cup, Pete? Hey,
as well
JJ,
as
did you play it?
As I have been for all of my national teams, I was first alternate for the Cannon Cup as well.
Okay. But yeah, so the Cannon Cup was like a junior tournament Ryder Cup, is what it was. You know, it was East versus West. You know, top 10 juniors versus the top 10 East-West guys. So Anthony and I were partners, and we get paired in best ball, and we were playing the first match. It was me and Anthony versus Kisner and James Vargas. James Vargas played University of Florida. I know JJ knows James. He was the greatest junior player of all time. He's shooting like 30 under par in junior tournaments. It was unbelievable. So it was me and Anthony against Kisner and Vargas. It was one of the greatest matches ever, best ball. There was, I don't know how many birdies there were. There was like 27 birdies combined in the match. It went to 18. Unbelievable match. Me and Anthony ended up losing on 18. We were pissed off, super bummed out. So the next day was alternate shot. And Anthony told the captain he wanted to play with me. So I didn't know if Anthony wanted to play with me again the next day. If he didn't, that's cool. But he said, no, I want to play with Spence again. So me and Anthony get paired with Kisner and another guy. I forget the other guy's name. And the other guy wasn't as good a player as Vargas. He was on the team, but you could tell he wasn't at the same level. Sorry, dude, if you're listening to this,
his name was JJ Colleen, in case you guys are wondering.
So Kiz tells the story. That the night before he's telling this kid, he goes, okay, man, bro, these guys aren't going to miss fairways. These guys aren't going to miss greens. You got to bring your game tomorrow. And then the other guy's like, yeah, right, whatever, like kind of playing it down, right? So me and Anthony, we go out, we're playing freaking awesome, dude. We hadn't missed a shot all day. We're like 6 or 7 up through like 11 or 12 or whatever, right? We're just killing. We're like 5 or 6 under alternate shot. Just absolutely killing Kiz and this other guy. Kiz was getting no help from this guy. The match was basically over. And I hit a bad drive, and we were going to close them out on this hole if we have the hole, basically. And I hit a bad drive. I hit it left in this fairway bunker, and it was kind of up against the lip. And they hit a good driveway down there. Looks like they're finally going to probably win a hole, right? And we didn't really have a shot. And so Anthony's getting over his shot in the bunker, and he calls a rules official over, and he said it was a dangerous situation because there were bees around the ball. And I'm like, dude, Anthony, come on, bro. He's like, no. He's like, fuck that, dude. I'm not losing the hole. These guys are not going to do it. I'm like, dude, just go. We're going to get – he's like, dude, no, come on. I got this. So I'm looking down there, dude, and the kids and the other guy down the fairway, they got their hands on their hips looking at us like, dude, what the hell are these guys doing? You could tell they're so pissed off, right? So Anthony, after like 10 minutes, dude, talks the guy into getting a drop. But he drops it in the bunker, and it like half plugs in the bunker, so it's worse than what it was before, dude. And I'm just like sitting there like, oh my God, what's he doing? So he like chunks it out, dude. We're still like way behind those guys in the fairway. I just kind of rush, hit my third shot, don't hit the green. And I think like Kiz hit it stiff, and they tap it in, right? And so I'm getting ready to go to the next hole, and then Anthony sits and hits a bunch of practice putts, dude. I'm like, dude, come on, bro. Like, this is bad. Like, these guys, like, Anthony's like, that's just the way he was, right? So finally we get up, we go to the next tee, and Kiz already hit, right? So Anthony goes, hey, Kiz, where'd you hit it? Kiz goes, I rolled it in the lake right here off the tee, but I see an alligator, so I'm going to get a free drop. So it gets a little chippy. Anthony's kind of pissed. He goes, okay, all right. So Anthony just hits like literally the best drive you've seen. I mean, it was the best drive you've ever seen, dude. Just bombs it down the middle. And he's like yelling at the guys like, what are you going to say to a guy who hits a drive like that, huh? What are you going to say? Sure enough, Anthony's like 50 by Kiz. The other kid like rinses it, like match is over, right? So we're getting, and their moms are out watching and stuff. And we're in the middle of the golf course. So we need to get a golf cart ride back to the clubhouse. So we hop on the back of this cart, and the sign bearer, it said like west winds like 8 and 7 or 7 and 6 or whatever. So as we're driving by the moms, dude, Anthony's pointing at the sign, go, yeah, you like that? To like the guy's moms and shit. And I'm sitting there like with my head in my lap going, oh my God, dude, this is crazy. That is my Anthony story, dude. He was the best. And it was the funniest thing ever. But at the time I was like, dude, this is like. And then, so, yeah, Kiz wasn't real happy, but it was so funny, dude, when Kiz goes, yeah, roll it in the water, but there's an alligator, so I'm going to get a free drop.
Shit.
I'll never forget that, dude. It was hilarious.
Well, that's legendary, because if you know Kiz, you know he's going to pop off if he feels like he's disrespected. And if you know AK, you know he's going to talk shit when he has the chance to do it. So that was gold, man. Spence, I love that.
Dude. It was so funny, bro. And, and it was, he was great. He was just had that cocky, confident attitude. And watching him play golf was fun, man. He was a hell of a player. He really was.
So did it remind you of me?
Mm-hmm. It reminded me of Pete. But I met Pete later in life. Yeah, totally. Definitely
I was kidding. Totally.
Kind of like an Asian Petey.
Confidence, though. Pete had a little edge about him for sure.
Yeah.
Of course he did.
So the first time I ever met Steen, I don't know if you remember this, Steen. But I do, because
was that the Open?
No. So obviously you don't remember.
Yeah, exactly. That shows you. There you go.
So the first time I ever met Steen, we were at the Web.com Tour Finals in fall of 2013. Okay, and I had just finished third and second.
That's right.
In the
you
first
used to kill those playoff events. You killed those ones.
And so we were done. It was Sunday night, and I was thirsty. I was ready to go. It's Columbus, Ohio. So I went to Eddie George's bar there in Columbus, Ohio, and I'll be damned if Spencer Levin wasn't 4 seats down from me right there. And I said, by God, what in the hell are you doing here, Spencer Levin? And we started talking, and you know what you said to me? I was like, I finished third, and I asked you, I go, what should I buy? And you go, whatever the hell you want. You got the bread to do it. I said, well, I've been looking at this Ford Raptor. And Colleen's going to give me shit for this because...
Again, same shit every goddamn pod. Go, let's go.
Colleen's got a Ford Raptor. I was like, man, I've been looking at this Ford Raptor. I'm like 23 years old, right? And this Ford Raptor is like the coolest car ever. This is 8 years ago. 9 years ago, whatever it was. And I'm like, man, I really want this $65,000 truck. And I'm telling Steen this. He's four seats down at the bar at Eddie George's there in Columbus. And you look at me and you take a second and you look at me like I've got 8 heads. And you're like, you've got the bread to do it, you dumbass. Why don't you just do it?
And you're about to be on tour, right?
Yeah. And so I did it. And you said bread. And I was like, I've never heard anyone tell me I've got the bread to do it. So I've got to just go do it. So I went home. I literally went home to Baton Rouge. Yep. I bought the truck. And ever since then, me and Steen have been good boys ever since.
I love it. Hell yeah. I had a good week. I think I snuck in the top 10 that week. I was out doing a little celebrating. I remember I think you were number one on the money list pretty easy on those playoff events, dude. Like you said, you were like top 5, top 3 in all of them. I remember you were killing it. So,
dude, Spence, everybody's got this friend that's like the peer pressure friend where they're like, dude, you got the bread to do it. Where you just feel as if like you're that guy, like you're trustworthy. Like, bro, you got the bread to bet 20 grand on this blackjack hand. Let's fucking do it. Let's roll the dice, man. Let's see what happens. Like, you're that guy. Hey, so
I'm that guy.
You're that guy. You're that guy, bro.
And I'll keep it real, JJ. I'll keep it real too. Like I got some boys too. I'm like, dude, do not make that bet, bro. Especially with that much money on the fucking Nets or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
You're trustworthy. You're trustworthy.
Well, the Nets are good now, but you know what I mean. Like I'll keep it real. But like I kept it real with Pete. I was like, dude, he's an up and coming player, kicking ass, dude. He wants a truck. He deserves it, dude. Go buy yourself a truck. That's why you work all that time playing golf, and you're gonna be making more money. So hell yeah,
yeah, dude. If you stared at me, if you stared at me into my eyes with that visor, with the hair hanging out of the visor, back in the skig days, and you said, Colleen, like double down here, and I was like, max bet 10 grand, double down, and you looked at me. I'd be like, shit, I got to do it. I got to do it. Like, I don't have a choice. Like, what kind of a human American man would I be if I didn't make this bet right here? And it potentially could have been an L, but I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Petey, I've got a little sidebar. You're more than trustworthy, Spence, to say the least. All right. I got a little sidebar. You, me, and Akshay Bhatia, we played in a little Monday shooter a couple months ago. You remember this in Houston?
Of course I do. Whereas in Houston, the fastest greens of all time.
Oh my God, they were like a 57 on the stimp.
That was insane. Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
It was fast as shit. No. You don't even know, dude. This is your Spence. This is your pod. They were They were faster than any. I've never played the Masters. Petey has. Spence.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Fast as shit greens. Petey. Spence can vouch. These were a joke how fast they were. So it was you, me, and Akshay Bhatia. I think that's how you say his last name. Super nice kid, right? Mm-hmm. He didn't play great with us, but now he's had like a couple top 10s on the PGA Tour, locked up at least Korn Ferry Tour finals, all these things. Great player. Obviously, you and I both beat him, which goes without saying. That means you and I should be on the PGA Tour right now. Spence, the people want to kind of know, and I'm the people. Petey wants to know, for you to make it back, for you to be like competitive, in contention, all this shit. What do you think you need to do to get back right now? Like, where's your game at, homie?
Yeah, that's a good question, dude. I mean, honestly, I feel like, you know, I've never been a long hitter, but it's not like when I was making money playing while I was out driving, guys. That's never been my thing. And you play with me a million times. I'm accurate. So anytime it's a tight course or course with, you know, trouble right and left, I usually play pretty good, or a course with rough. But that's still, I still hit it pretty straight. I mean, I still don't play much different really at all than I did when I was making money. It just comes down to a couple putts around, right? And I haven't been playing a full schedule. So like last year on the Korn Ferry, I think I got 5 starts. I made a couple cuts and had like a 15th in one of them, missed a couple cuts by 1 or 2. And it's more of, I think, and you guys, I mean, you guys know, you guys are professional golfers. You know golf as well as anybody. It's more of just kind of just taking advantage of the opportunity when you get it, and just maybe having a putt or 2 more go in, or if you're playing well, that's all it takes is a putt or 2 more, or an up and down when you don't normally get up and down, or whatever, something like that. So it's not like, I don't think I need a big overhaul with anything. It's not like I got to change my swing or anything. I mean, I've had the same swing since I was a kid playing golf. I haven't changed that. So to be honest with you, bro, I think it's just a couple more putts here and there, and just kind of taking advantage of the opportunity when I get it. Like, I'll probably get in a few Korn Ferries this summer. I mean, I've been trying to work out a little bit, trying to eat a little better. That's something I don't normally do, but I figured with my time off, I mean, I can't hurt, and that's what everybody else is doing, bro. So I tell you what, dude, I don't think it's that far off. You hear people say that all the time, but that's the reality of it. I'm not trying to go out there and change my swing or do anything crazy. It's just, hopefully when I do get an opportunity, I can play well, and the putts will fall. I mean, I think that's really all you can ask, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think sure. I've noticed here in the last hour, you say you're changing your diet. You are drinking O'Doul's.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Here.
By the way, if we don't get at least a 2 sponsorship for Spence from O'Doul's, I'm going to be pissed off. O'Doul's, I swear, you better get the checkbook out, and he's going to have O'Doul's. He'll bring the visor back for a 2 O'Doul's sponsorship on the front of the visor. I'm going to act as his agent right now and say he will, for $1 million, he will wear an O'Doul's visor. Spence, you don't have to agree. I'm your agent. It's going to happen. But
I'm starting high, dude. That's cool. I appreciate that.
I would have thought Spencer Levin would be drinking cow piss before he would drink O'Doul's beer. I have never in my life thought that guy would drink non-alcoholic beer Unbelievable. This is something that we have never seen before. This is like Dustin Johnson drinking water. This is a big deal.
I tell you what, dude, when he said, you're like, I know when I told you that, I was like, I wonder how Pete's going to feel. And you reacted exactly the way I thought you would. Yes.
Dude, how does it feel going into a gas station and buying a 6-pack of O'Doul's? Like, do you give him do you steal it? Do you give him a credit card? Can you keep a straight face? Like, how does that shit even happen?
He asked for my ID. I'm like, O'Doul's, dude? Like, are you serious? Like, come on. What are you doing, bro? Like, what the hell are you talking about? So, yeah, I just got on the way right before the podcast. Got me a little 6-pack of O'Doul's, dude. Yeah, got me right there at the gas station. And, I didn't even know where to find it, dude. Like, I just started drinking them a few weeks ago, and it's amazing they even have them because I've never bought them. I mean, think about it, dude. If you ever bought it, you think, oh, they're not going to have it everywhere I've gone. Like, it's just like getting a 12-pack of Bud Light. It's crazy, you know? So,
all right. Well, we got one more question, Steen.
All right.
And this is what we're going to wrap up with. This is from my good buddy here in Fort Worth, Texas. It's the most boring question of the night. What is the hardest par 3, hardest par 4, and hardest par 5 on the PGA Tour?
That's a good. It's boring, but it's a good question. I mean, I think we can have a nice discussion about this. Hardest par 3, off the top of my head, my first thought was it's got to be 14 at Harbor Town, doesn't it?
Yeah,
that's got to be right up there, right? When you think
that one's hard
with that right pin and it gets windy. I mean, that's a tough hole.
That's a son of a bitch. That's tough.
It's even harder when you cook dinner for us at our house the night before.
How good are my steaks, bro? Come on, keep it real.
Okay.
Hey, Petey, I got after this. I got one follow up, but Spence, the people answer the rest of these, and I got one follow up that we got to fucking know. And Petey mentioned it last week. Anytime someone mentions your name, I got to give you a follow up. But go ahead. What's the next hardest one?
Okay. Well, you guys I want to hear your guys' answer on the par 3s though too. Like, what's your guys' hardest par 3? It takes a minute. I mean, I could probably think of another one, but I want to hear what you guys got to say.
Shit, I don't know, dude. Like the most, I'll put it like this. I'm going to change perspectives here for a second. So that Harbor Town hole's way harder, but I wasn't super nervous playing it, but it was a hard as shit hole. The hole, I played the Players Championship one year. Yep. The fucking 17th hole, I'm nervous as shit.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it's just a nerve wracking. It's like a flip hook wedge.
Right, but that's the same thing because everybody.
Petey, were you not nervous playing it?
No.
Spence, were you nervous? You guys are ball striking little bitches.
I've never had a hard time with that one, JJ. For whatever reason, every time I've been around that hole, the wind's never been blowing. It's always I don't know. I've never rinsed it there. I always hit the green there for some reason. But like you say, some guys just have different vibes on different holes, bro. Like it's just weird. But anyway.
I hate to throw you under the bus because you're my partner.
Oh God,
we do this every week, but that is the easiest par 3 on tour. That is the most overrated hole in America.
Not the easiest.
Yes, it is.
Len Matisse made a goddamn 27 to lose the Players Championship.
Yeah, and there's been caddies that have been able to throw it on the green.
That's true.
From the same tee box. So it's 120 yards at most. It's a gap wedge. If it's at the hardest it's going to play, it's a joke of a hole. In my opinion. I mean, I made birdie, a couple pars, blah blah blah.
Credit to you guys. You guys are both studs. You guys should form a goddamn club of just par 3 studs.
You're right. You're exactly right. But if I'm answering Steen's question or the question that I actually asked this question.
Yes.
I asked this question. I'm going to the same golf course. I'm going to the same tournament, and I'm picking number 8. Number 8 at Sawgrass.
Yeah.
Is the hardest par 3 on the PGA Tour.
I don't think I've ever hit that green in my life. That's a good call, dude.
That is the hardest par 3 on the PGA Tour. It's a hybrid 3-iron or 4-iron every day. Yeah, and it's a crossway.
And you got to hit through like a walkway. And you can hit a good shot and not hit the green on that hole. Right. So that's a good call, bro. That one's very hard, dude. if you make a par there, that feels like a birdie most of the time for sure.
Yeah. When Colleen started talking, I thought he was going to say number 8, and then he said number 17. So I was real excited.
All right, just go. Obviously, I'm irrelevant because I'm not a ball striking machine. I think I played number 8. I think in my career on number 8, I'm like 4 under, but whatever. It's just it's a heeled, spinny 5-wood. Like if you don't have that shot in the bag, GFY. Like whatever, I don't care. It's a heeled, spinny 5-wood.
All right, go ahead and ask your last question. You had
number 4, par 4. It's got to be. I don't know. There's a lot of those holes nowadays on tour, right? 500 and some yard par 4, probably. I would say, I don't know. I mean, you got to go maybe. What is it? 12 at Torrey, right? That long ass one going back. That one's hard.
Yeah, that's a bitch. Yeah.
For me, it's like a driver 5-wood. It's just long, especially in the morning. It's just like a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
A couple other ones, and that one. Of them, dude. That's a good question. Some of them, I'm trying to think, dude. I mean, there's a bunch of Torrey that are hard, right?
Yeah, Spence, like they like name holes, like 12 at Torrey, like they name holes like whatever opening, like 12 should just be called pain in the ass. Like that's just the name of the hole. That's just the name of the hole. I love it.
Give me a 4, I'll run to 13 is what it should be called.
For sure.
And then, dude, what the hell was I just going to say? Oh, yeah, then the one with they played Riviera this week, right? 12 at Riv is a beast. 12, 13, 15, all those are beasts.
Yeah, that's beast.
There's just a bunch of stretches at Torrey that are tough. I'm sorry, at the Riv that are real tough too. 2 at Riv's hard.
How about a par 5? Like most par 5s.
One that's a par 5 at Riv, So it's like 2 at Riv's up there. I'll bet that's pretty high up there on the hardest holes on tour for sure.
100%, you're right. So par 5s, you're usually thinking, man, birdie in your mind. What's par 5 have you played where like, if I make a par, I'm not too pissed off here?
So am I not allowed to answer the par 4 question? Or
for God's sakes, answer a goddamn question, Peterson.
I'm about to get
Hurry
mad.
the hell up and answer a goddamn question.
It's got to be 6 at PGA National for the Honda. I mean, right?
Yeah. Dude,
that course sucks. That course sucks.
That's the hardest hole in America.
That's a dude. That you're right. Nope, hands down. That's it. The wind's always off the left. You got a lake left. It's 500 million yards. That's the hardest hole on tour.
It's terrible.
Sucks. Yeah, that's
terrible.
That course.
I remember going there. If you're like on the cut line and that's your last 9 holes, you're getting a 6. You're always hoping that you're like 1 or 2 inside the cut line because you just know it's going to be a 5.
Yeah. Because you send it right to the hill and you're like, whatever.
Don't make a double and try to par the last 3 and make the cut. And then 7 par 3, my bad. Honda, freaking every hole at Honda, I guess. Yeah.
6 at Honda is the hardest par 4.
Yep, that's a great call, bro. That is a great call.
All right, really what was it, Colleen, on the par 5s? What we had?
No, I mean, shit. I don't. No. Basically, I was saying par 5s. Most pros.
Yeah.
Or like they're thinking under par, but like, did you ever play a par 5 where you're like, shit, I made a par, I'm not pissed, like whatever, like most people are making par here, it's not a big deal. Like, did you ever play a par 5 that was like so dirty where you're like, dude, I'm good with 5, like peace out, I'm fine?
That's a good question.
Absolutely. I mean, you want me to go first, Steen?
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm having a hard time with this.
I think you got to go to 14 at Pebble this week.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's a good call.
I think you got to go to 14 at Pebble. That hole right there, if you miss the fairway, you're going to have 190 yards in.
Yeah.
And then you're hitting to a green that's not bigger than your desk. Like, it is a son of a bitch. That hole is a son of a bitch.
That's it. You got, and if the pin's on that kind of right side, where it brings that, it's the hardest hole, hardest par 5 easily. Actually, that's a great call. It's not even a close second. That's a great call. Great call.
What do you think, Colleen?
No, I mean, dude, I think you're spot on right there. I mean, like, did you guys ever play Congressional, that deal? Were you in there playing that thing? Like, there's like the, God dang, I know they had like a longer tee or whatever, but I want to say like 15 or 16 is like 600 and something. It's just like, you can maybe reach it, but like the angle's just like a horrible angle. And it's just, I mean, if you made a par, you weren't pissed. Like, you expected to have a sand wedge in, but like you had to be nails to even put it in sandwich position type stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely. If you miss the fairway, they always have rough there, and you're hacking it out, and you're in like a mid-iron for your 3rd. I remember that hole. That's a hell of a hole. Yeah, that's a good call, too. I remember that hole. Yeah, I think it wasn't it? It might have been 16 at Congressional, right? Because then the next one was that little short par 4, and then 18 was that dogleg left. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good par 5, too. But, Pete, I'm with that Pebble 14 with that funky pin is I mean, you're just – if you're on the green
It's
three.
dirty.
If you're on the green in three, you're like, it's a little celebration for you, especially with the funky pin.
So I think at this point, when you're playing the PGA Tour and you play holes like this, like you play a 14 at Pebble or you play a 6 at the Honda, and you're not on the green in regulation, you're like, I'm not too pissed off with bogey when I walk off the green.
Exactly. So therefore, exactly. I agree 100%, dude. Those are very good calls right there.
Okay.
So here's my question. I know Steen's been on here for a while, and we love you for it. And
this is fun,
everybody
bro.
loves you. We're just kicking it. We're just kicking it, right? We're just having a few O'Douls and kicking it, right? Tito's O'Douls, gold jacket, green jacket. Who gives a shit? Happy Gilmore style, 25th anniversary, right? All right, Steen. So Petey was leading or in the last group of the goddamn Phoenix Open, and you know all about the last group of the Phoenix Open. He was staying at your house, my condo, apartment, and he was explaining the room, explain the ambiance of the guest room at the Steen Resort and Spa and what it entailed.
Me or Pete?
No. I want Spence. This is your place. You created this ambiance for this guest room. Tell the people, obviously, no cost spared for creating this beautiful environment. What did your guest bedroom look like?
What
for the guy that was leading?
Let's see. It was what'd you have? You got a bed and you got a TV on the wall, and I want to say, wait, wasn't the lamp on like an old cardboard box of like some other piece of furniture or something? And that was about it, dude. I mean, it was nothing but first class for my boy Pete. That's all. You know what I mean? I just had him ready to go, and it showed in his golf. I mean, he was ready, bro.
Well, he was ready until the last round. He was ready until the last round, where he said he was so intoxicated he couldn't even. He was blackout until about 4 a.m. before the last round. He said that ambiance may have had something to do with the blackout, but he said it was a hell of a setup. It was. I mean, who needs the St. Regis when you got Steen Resort and Spa for the tournament leader?
Saying. That's what I'm saying, dude. Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Petey, what did it look like? Petey, what did it really look like? I mean, as a hotel guest of Steen Resort and Spa, what did this look like?
If you want to hear it from the horse's mouth,
yes,
it was quite the sabbatical from Fort Worth, Texas. So at that point in my time, I was 14, or I guess it was 2017. I was with Amanda. She was not quite yet my wife. But we were staying with Steen because I was not rich. I had no money, and we were trying to cut costs, right? And Steen was one of my good buddies. I stayed with Steen every week. We rented houses together. We had dinners together. Like this was something that was very normal.
Right.
And so Steen lived in Scottsdale, and obviously I'm playing the tournament. So I'm like, the hell with it. I'll just stay with Steen, right?
Absolutely.
Little did I know that Steen lived like a sophomore at LSU that just got his parents' trust fund and spent all of it on booze and cigarettes. I could not believe the amount of chicken shit that we had to go through. So anyway, with all that, we went and ate at the best restaurants, right? We ate at, what was the place called, Steen?
Dude, it's that Italian joint, dude. Local bistro. That was like your favorite spot. How good that was?
Yeah, we ate at Local Bistro at least 2 or 3 times that week. Yeah. So by the time Saturday afternoon rolls around, I'm in the lead after Saturday. I'm like, I'll be damned. Shot 63 with Spieth with a double bogey. I made either 10 or 11 birdies and a double bogey to shoot 63. Well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, we went to Local Bistro with my boy Steen here on Saturday night. And I was in the final group on Sunday, so I'm picking his brain. I'm like, Steen, you've been in this situation. Tell me how to navigate tomorrow afternoon, right? Because I'm trying to like pass out at midnight, wake up at 11 p.m. tomorrow, so I get like sufficient sleep. Because normally, like in my prior past, I'd always wake up at 7 a.m. and then all of a sudden, I'm in the final group or whatever. You don't tee off till 2 p.m., and then you're tired at that point. So I'm picking Steen's brain. So Steen's like, all you got to do is just get fucked up. I'm like, okay. So we go home, and Steve Marino comes over. You remember that? Steve comes over. Steve comes over. Me and Steve and Steen stay up till like 1 or 2 in the morning watching TV, playing video games. I don't remember what game we were playing. And so I go to bed at like 2:30 in the morning, but I don't tee off till 3 or 4 in the afternoon. They had both missed the cut, so it didn't matter. So we go to bed, and Amanda's already in bed, and Steen had set this incredible room up where we had an air mattress and a cardboard box on each side as phone charger holders. I don't even know what you call them.
Yeah.
So we had a cardboard box.
Nightstands.
Nightstands.
That's right. Nightstand.
We had cardboard box nightstands on each side.
Custom nightstands.
So I'm in line to make $1.4 million the next day, and I'm standing and I'm sleeping on a bed that has air under it and possibly hadn't changed the sheets in 2 years. There are cardboard boxes on either side. But I love the guy. So it's just like just one of my best. Yeah. Like, whatever. I don't care. Amanda's already asleep. Whatever. We go to bed.
It was working.
And it was working. It was working. So I wake up the next morning. And I wake up late. It worked. The plan worked. We played video games till 2 in the morning. I woke up late. Amanda was already up. She'd already showered. She already snuck across the hall naked in her towel. Because there wasn't a bathroom right there, right? It was the guest room was like, you got to sneak across the hall to take a shower. So she snuck across the hall, snuck back. Maybe they saw something, maybe they didn't. But so we get to Phoenix. We get to the golf tournament. I'm like 3 hours early. I get there at 11 a.m. or something. I tee off at 2, something like that. And we start, going through our prep. And I'm like, damn, I'm tired. I'm like, why am I tired? What am I so tired from? I play the first 6 holes, and I get one. Like, if you're in the final group or one of the final groups at Phoenix Open, the Thunderbirds who put that deal on, there's one of them with you in the group. So I ask the guy that's with us. I'm like, hey, can you go get me a Red Bull? This is through 7 holes. I'm in the lead. In the Phoenix Open, and I need a freaking Red Bull to stay awake. Anyway, I end up losing by $1 million. Ended up finishing like 10. I couldn't stay awake. I chugged 2 Red Bulls. If it happens in the future, I will not stay on an air mattress and stay up playing video games till 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Or you can stay there and just not get fucked up. Either one.
Dude, I feel as if this is Petey's fault. It was his decision. It's Petey's fault.
It was my fault. I'm not blaming this on Steen. This was 100% my fault.
Hey, listen to this, guys. I know, and absolute legend. So I don't know how many of the people know this, but Steen, aka Spencer Levin, aka GOAT legend. You were in Petey's wedding, okay?
Yes.
You're in Petey's wedding. Rumor on the street is there's a tuxedo that's missing that is due back in Fort Worth, Texas at any given day. What is your story behind the missing tuxedo? Why is there a missing tuxedo? And explain to the people this whole situation of why potentially you even freaking needed to borrow a tux for the wedding.
Well, I talked to my lawyer about that, and I can't really comment on that. So.
Petey, fill us in there. Shit, I mean, what's happening?
I don't know, dude. What was it? He let me borrow the tux. I show up, and I needed a tux. Pete hooked it up, and obviously, how did I go home with it, dude? I don't.
When do you need to? What kind of wedding do you need to just like borrow a random tux? What kind of wedding is like, bro? Do you have a tux I can borrow? Like you're in the wedding, like Petey. What the hell?
That's a good question, bro. I was from the second I showed up till I left, it was I would say let me say cautiously, or what are the word I'm looking for? I was slightly overserved by the bartenders and
You're
my friends.
intoxicated. You're intoxicated, Spence.
You know,
You were
slightly.
smashed. All right,
What?
you were smashed.
Okay. But that was part. Okay, so then I think that amongst all that, then all of a sudden somehow the tux got in my suitcase. I wish I had a better explanation, but I don't know, Pete. I don't know if he's ever going to get it back. We'll see. I don't know.
Okay,
You
so
might have to come back and stay at the Steen Lodge, bro. Come get it.
so I know. I'll tell you how it got there, how it stayed there, and why it will always be at Steen Resort and Spa. So we sent our invitations out, right? And we had a black tie wedding in Fort Worth, Texas here. Black tie. And
I was an usher, bro. I was an usher at that wedding.
yeah. And so correct me if I'm wrong, Steen. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you knew what a black tie wedding meant at that point.
I still don't actually, bro.
Yes.
That's why we love you. That's why we love you.
Okay, and that's why I say that, because we were all at the golf course. We were at my country club here in Fort Worth, Texas. We're at Mira Vista Country Club.
I remember that.
We were all drinking. We all came in. There's like 30 of us, right? And we're all getting ready. We're all getting ready to go get me married. 30 of us taking shot, whatever, doing whatever. It's a locker room. You do whatever you want. You drink, eat, go change, whatever. And Steen's there. Steen had just flown in from Sacramento, like across the country.
Mm-hmm.
And I go up to Steen. I'm like, Steen, where's your tux? And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, it's a black tie wedding. And he's like, what does that mean? And I'm like, that means you need a tuxedo, big boy. And he goes, oh my God, I'm in sweatpants and a t-shirt. I don't have a tuxedo. I'm like, so you came across the country. You flew across the country in sweatpants and a t-shirt, expecting to go to a black tie wedding. He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. God damn. I don't even know how to answer you right now.
Yeah, I'll take the chicken.
So luckily, I had been and gotten fitted for a new tux for this wedding, like a month prior, and I had my old tux in my closet, and I said, I'll be damned, if that old tux didn't fit Steen perfectly.
Perfect.
It fit him so perfect that he just fucking kept it. And that was it. I hadn't seen it since.
Well, dude, remember at when I stayed at your place for Colonial, and I told you, I was like, I need new golf pants. My golf pants suck. You just got like a sponsor, and you gave me like 5 or 6 pairs of your. I wore them the whole year. Remember that?
Yeah.
They fit for those Oxford pants, dude. They were money. I wore them. Yeah. I still got all of them, dude. I still wear them all the time.
So if you see Spencer Levin playing any professional tournaments right now, and he's wearing a tuxedo, just know that it's all of my old stuff.
No, Petey.
Yes,
just if he's wearing
Oxford
clothes,
pants.
If he's straight up wearing clothes, it's your stuff. Just if he has clothes on.
Oxford pants or a tuxedo, it's Pete's stuff. Exactly.
We love you, Steen. We love you.
That's funny. Love you guys too, man. I'm glad you guys have me, bro. This is a lot of fun, dude. For real, this is a great time. This is a lot of fun.
This is this is for the people, man. The people love you. I mean, we're just chilling. I mean, honestly, Spence, and I already said this from the beginning. People love talking to you, loving about just whatever, knowing about your career in general. A lot of people don't know about pro golf. They ask questions. They don't know what's up. Like most people are pretty chill, man. Like most pros are pretty chill. They just want to know, hey, what's it going to take to get to the next level? You've been there. Potentially some young players. What can I do? So thanks for freaking hanging out with us, homie.
Dude, no, bro. I've been looking forward to it. Right when Pete sent me the text, want to be on here. I've been thinking about it since he sent it to me. So I've been looking forward to this all day, bro. This is great, man. This is a lot of fun, dude. For real. Anytime you guys want me back, I'll do it. So this is a lot of fun.
All right. See you tomorrow.
Right on.
And that is the 4th episode of For the People podcast. I cannot believe that we've got Spencer Levin for over an hour. Everybody's wanted him, but we got him. This is For the People podcast. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for supporting us. Go ahead, click subscribe. like everything on iTunes and Spotify. Thank you so much for listening to For the People podcast. We'll be back next week with episode 5.
This episode of For the People is brought to you by Texas Title, your DFW-based title insurance company. Close your next home, purchase or refinance with Texas Title, www.texastitle.com, #a place to call home.